Inconsistency sucks.
Yeah.
That really does suck. That messed me up so much in the head. And I like to say when I was growing up that it didn't. But I was looking for validation, like, from fighting people. Like, not saying, like, a fighting is cool, but I was fighting people just to take out my anger or whatever. And then it was like, where's my round of applause?
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let me fix my mic because I got to give you an introduction. Cause
Whatever we have to edit.
Eric, are you talking
all right,
right my introduction? We want to have an introduction battle?
No.
Damn.
What's that?
Welcome to the Other Half Podcast. You feel me? We got a special guest today. What they say on that? What's that shoe? Cool Kicks. We got a legend in the building.
Hey.
We got a legend in the building. But check it. Hey, niggas pressing buttons on the board. But check it out, dog. We got a great father. One of my very first clients. My brother, my dog.
Great friend.
A great friend. A crash out, a real life crash out. Barber. HVAC. A future HVAC employee owner. You feel me? We speaking that into existence.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like
my
that.
boy Kenny.
Yes, sir.
My boy Ken.
Thank you.
He trigger happy today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
Appreciate it, brother.
It's the first podcast you done?
Yeah, ever. I'm not used to being in front of the camera. I'm used to be behind the camera. So it is different.
To be behind.
Yeah. What?
Huh? Hey, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, how's life in Arizona?
Life in Arizona is beautiful. It's just been a struggle lately. You know, life's life. But hey, you know, in this time next year, hopefully you guys get me back in the podcast.
For sure.
Life will be completely different.
For sure.
So,
No,
but right now, you know, just living good, I guess.
And
trying to survive.
That's what's up. Hey, how are you?
It's like everybody. I'm good today.
Today?
Yeah. Based off the last podcast, I'm trying to, you know what's crazy? So after I watched it, it's kind of like, okay, I'm aware of what I'm going through. I'm fully aware that I'm possibly depressed. I don't know why. But now I want to, you know what I mean? It's like watching yourself back. So now I'm like, okay, I'm trying to be in better spirits. And yeah, I felt good today. I'm just tired.
That's what's up, though.
Tired every day.
I hear it.
Which kind of goes into...
It's a wonderful day, dog. I'm never tired.
It's a little hot today.
It is hot today.
It's too hot for this jersey. To be rude.
I like it.
And I'm wearing jeans.
You're the type to not wear a shirt underneath.
I had to check right quick. Man, I'm telling you.
All right. So we got our icebreaker segment.
Yes.
Powered by Hella Awkward. Shout out Hella Awkward. So Hella Awkward, I ain't tell you this. You probably don't know anyway. Hella Awkward is actually a minority-owned company.
Oh, that's nice.
They sell them in Target and Amazon and all that. I believe they're Black-owned and they're Asian-owned, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Shout out Hella Awkward.
Yes.
Here you go. Read the card, man.
All right. So today's card is parenting is hard. What should your parents have taught you when you were younger? I feel like we talk about this all the time.
Man.
Kenny?
Go first, good.
You want me to go first? What they should have taught me? Dang. There's so much that go in my head. I think patience is number one.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Because kids will push you to that limit, even when life takes you to that limit. So I'm kind of going through that right now. Life is just, I kid you not, every day it's like a left hook, but I get right back up and handle my business. But, you know, I'll get hit with some life stuff, get home, and then my kids push me to my limit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I step on a Lego. You know what I'm saying? I guess I step on a Lego and then my son has a blowout. But you know, I wouldn't trade it for the world. My kids are my number one priority. So
yeah, I love that.
You know, but I think patience is number one because I'm not very much of a patient person. I'm be real with you. I'm just not that patient. Either. So when it came to my kids, I had to get on my feet quick and learn how to be patient. Mm-hmm. And I did that. So
that's so patient.
Yep.
I feel like mine is a lot of things, to be honest. I just feel
we don't have a lot of things.
I know. And my mom's like, so what are you guys talking on the podcast? Are you talking about the family? I feel like for me, it was how to not react so quickly. That goes with anything. Kids, I'm quick to be like, who did this? You know what I mean? And then I just assume. With you too, same thing. Just quick to react. So.
I done got cussed out for something I ain't do.
Happens
By me?
to everybody. Yeah,
By me?
Huh?
Sounds like April. Yeah, just, I don't know. I feel like communication. Actually, that's like the major thing. I feel like my family, especially coming from a Hispanic family, Mexican family, we just don't know how to communicate. It's like if you get hurt, it's like get up, walk it off. That's what I remember hearing a lot. Or get over it, you know what I mean? So just communication, learning how to deal with certain situations. I just feel like I wasn't really taught how to do that.
That's real.
Facts. For me, I think it was I feel like finances. I didn't grow up learning. I mean, I grew up without my dad. And then I mean, he's still not around, but my mom raised me when she was 17. You know what I mean? So she didn't really know much. Of course, now she knows a lot more, but definitely finances.
How to save.
That, how to save, how to budget, all that. It's harder when you learn it later.
Because you already have habits that you formed. Facts. That's like when I was telling you that my manager said that her son, who's 18 turning 19, she already has him, every time he gets paid, they take out $150 from his check and save it for him. But it's like, we weren't taught that. We weren't taught about credit, bank accounts.
Facts. Credit especially.
You know what I mean?
Man, I learned credit like 3 years ago. I'm almost 30.
That's how it be.
You know?
But
you're still young. You're not even past your 30s?
No, I'm right on the edge of glory.
Bro.
Man,
you seasoned.
Stop it. I got 2 kids. I feel old.
That boy seasoned.
I'm Lowry's.
Dang,
The beard gonna come eventually.
Nah.
Give it time, bro. Give it time.
Oh my God.
That's wild. That's crazy.
So how's barbering treating you, man?
It's cool.
Yeah.
Barbering is one of those things, like, when I started it, I didn't really care for it as much, I guess. No, it's not that I didn't care for it. I wanted to do something that I would be financially stable. But over time, it ended up being something that fulfilled me in other ways. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out here talking to the youth and the community and stuff like that. And I don't have bad days.
He's cutting out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to talk into it more. Don't turn away.
Well, dang.
Okay, sorry. Make sure they can hear you.
Cutting hair was just, it was one of those things that it fulfills me now, but I didn't think it did before. I learned how to actually talk to people and have conversations and stuff like that as a barber. So it's been cool, You was one of my first clients.
Yeah, for sure.
I used to mess Kenny up, dog.
Hey, not let it happen. But, I mean, he's talking like he didn't have really good conversations. He had great conversations.
Let me tell you how I met Kenny.
Oh, okay, here we go.
He comes in the
He tells the story all the time.
He didn't even come in the shop.
No.
He had his girl at the time come in the shop. She was like, yeah, I got a boyfriend. He needs a haircut. Can somebody do it? I said, I'll cut him. Boy, my boy came in the shop looking like Uncle Bernie.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
Hey, glasses, high socks, shorts. I think his shirt was red, dog.
Yeah.
One of my first clients, he was like, this haircut's fire, bro. I was messing that fool up.
He was.
Is that Walmart days when he used to work at Walmart? He was. You told me you met him.
Oh, that
way
was
before
okay. That was way before that.
Dang,
man,
yeah.
That was a struggle too in my life.
That's what he tells me when he met you.
Yeah, y'all was in some stages of my life. Y'all saw some stuff.
Yeah, I'm like,
y'all definitely
your grandfather right now. Dog.
Yeah, okay. No, we ain't on. We definitely saw that.
Dang.
Now, shout out. I got a video actually where I'm over here hyped in my car. I'm in the beater. My car is like about to break down. I'm like, look at the face.
I remember that.
You used to have some of the most motivational, greatest motivational videos I've ever seen.
I'll tell you, I'm very supportive of all my friends.
Oh, no, the one where
I remember
Here
those.
we go.
Get a nice cut. Get some nice butt.
What?
The one where he was like, get a nice cut, get some nice butt. He said, come get a haircut. But y'all don't support local businesses, so y'all ain't gonna come, so forget y'all.
I really was hot, bro.
I know.
I was really hot,
Hey.
bro.
That was a motivational
Hey, I'm
talk right
telling
there
you,
that
man.
turned left.
You don't understand. You don't understand. So I started thinking about it as the video went. So I was really hyped. I was really into it just because a lot of people told me, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go to you for this haircut. And all these people just disappeared. They never showed up again.
Is that the one where you're in the mirror in the shop?
Yeah, and I'm hot. I'm hot. And my hat says save money. I made no money. I made no money.
I
I was
know.
hot, bro.
Save money, Walmart. Oh, hey, I got that video on my
Hell
phone.
no, we don't
right
need to show
now.
these people, dog. That we ain't doing
Fire.
that.
You
We
got to
ain't
put
do-
that in there.
Nah.
You got to put that in there.
That's gonna be in the credits.
Nah.
That's gonna be in the credits.
I ain't talking to y'all for one
At the
whole
end.
week. If we do that.
Put it in the end.
Hell
Yeah, I
no,
remember
man.
So what's today's topic, ma'am?
I didn't really have like a specific topic. I just had a bunch of questions to talk about. So
Go ahead, just do one.
yeah,
Throw one.
like even now I just wanted to know, I know that you're doing HVAC.
Mhm.
So how do you feel like I think we've always talked about this. I feel like we relate a lot of ways. Like
Mhm.
doing something that maybe you thought was going to make you happy and then it wasn't and you just felt like, okay, this is not the route I want to go. Let me do something else.
Yep.
And is it just about stability or is it also going to make me really happy to do this? So I feel like, do you feel like what you're going for now is what's really going to make you happy based off, or rather than barbering? Or like what made you decide to do that besides barbering?
Like you mentioned, stability was like a really big thing. We'll start with the barbering thing. Barbering is like something I've been wanting to do. When I met Tino, it was like, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah, I talked.
Yeah.
And then he really he gave me my first pair of fast feeds. I remember that. I still got them.
You
They
know.
broke down. But I still got
Hold
them.
on,
man.
I still got them though. And yeah, I don't know. Like you said, when I got into it, it was kind of like I just want to make some FU money, like whatever. It's just I wanted to make some paper. But then I ended up falling in love with making relationships with people, And then I actually met Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, dang.
Like
I didn't
who
know
knew
that.
I would have met Ken Griffey? Man, look at that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm wearing Mariner. I got Ken Griffey's over there in the front. Like I'm wearing Ken Griffey's right now. But
That's cool.
yeah, so I got to meet like people I really looked up to growing up. And I thought that was really cool. Like I said, I made relationships. But with this barbering thing, I moved 3 times in 3 years.
Mhm.
So I would build clientele and then lose my clientele. Then I'll build it again, break it down again, build it one more time. My last time I moved back here to Arizona, I kind of found myself without money right away, but I had to build clientele right away. And that
Right.
doesn't go that doesn't go hand in hand together. So I was already not making any money and I couldn't find a job anywhere. So I just said, you know what? I'm kind of tired of being in this position. I'm almost 30 years old and making nothing. All I'm kind of doing is just paying for booth rent and my phone bill and my rent. And it's just like, it's too much. So I said, you know what? Let me just look up what I could do that I know will be sustainable. Crazy thing about growing up in my high school, they never brought up trade schools. They always brought
They
up.
do it now though.
Yeah, I bet now because we're so like
Yeah.
understaffed in trade schools. So anybody out there, I recommend going to trade school.
Facts.
So
Can you explain what a trade school is exactly?
a trade school is basically a blue collar job, and like it's a job that will never go away. So electricians, plumbing, HVAC, that type of stuff, construction. And the thing is, even when everything shuts down in the world, we're still going to need these
Right.
people because we're still going to need houses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when COVID happened, I found out like, okay, barbers are kind of reliable. I can really slide to people's houses and stuff like that. But it was very limited because everybody was kind of scared to die. So,
Yeah.
Facts.
But,
I
But
remember
when
that.
I started thinking about all this other stuff, and what came to be was after I left the barbershop, I did not know what to do anymore. I didn't have a job. And it was like, it caused problems at home. And I was like, I I just need something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my kids are right there. I'm looking at them like, yeah, you guys are hungry.
Yeah.
I got to get up and do something. So
All eyes on you. Huh?
right. So it's like it became a lot on my shoulders. So I decided to do HVAC. Actually, I took a tour to the college as just like a whim. I just passed the school and I saw a trade school. So I just busted went in there. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if it'll work my schedule because I take care of my kids all day. So they're like, oh, we can work around your schedule. So if you could come in at 6 o'clock, you'll get out before midnight. And you just have it going on. So I went in there. I was like, okay, yeah, we can make that happen. I was like, but I just don't got no money right now. They're like $60 a month and pull a loan. You're good.
Oh, dang.
I was like, let's do it. I'm good. I just right then and there, boom. They got me through every class. They got me through electricity, plumbing, car mechanics, and then they put me in HVAC. And for some reason, I was like, yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
That's the one. And I did it. And crazy thing, congratulations to me. They gave me an opportunity to take my HVAC EPA license. And I passed that first try and I didn't even graduate yet.
Oh my God, you need a little applause button there.
That's the wrong, all them other buttons. There's a crowd that applause somewhere in there.
Oh, wait, hold on. My fault. Thank you.
The birds. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, appreciate
Congratulations.
it. Yep. I'm very motivated for this. But if I just dodge the question, I came here for stability, but I realized that this is going to make me happy because I just want to see my family happy.
Facts.
You know? I think that's more so what I'm doing all this for. Like, that's the reason why I did barbering as well. I love taking my kids to work. That made me happy. Yeah. But I wasn't making no money, so it was a way.
Like,
you know?
it was flexible.
Yeah. But now if I could just make money, I could give them whatever they want.
That.
Yeah, because then you get to spend more time.
You scared of roaches?
Hell yeah.
Rats?
You know I am.
Scorpions?
Come on. We saw a big grasshopper out here. We just ducked off.
Oh, yeah. I'm scared of grasshoppers, of all things.
We ducked off. Yeah, I'm scared of roaches, but hey, you know I'm
that boy, he said he's going to turn into the Terminator.
Hell yeah.
Orkin?
My teacher said he saw a rat. Like, it almost bit him.
Oh,
he had to grab that. He had to... I said, damn.
I'm doing that?
I don't know. Mortal Kombat, maybe.
Bro, what?
I might have to just chop it, stab it with a box
There's
cutter.
rats here?
Dang.
They got to go somewhere.
Dang.
Yeah, they got to go somewhere.
Yeah, but roaches are big out here in Arizona. Man, they grow big sizes.
In Texas, they fly. Yeah.
Okay, we ain't good.
Well, no, they're big in Texas and they fly. They're big and they fly at the same time. And they got big rats.
Eric,
it's like New York.
I don't want to hear that.
Just saying, I've lived everywhere.
We can go to the next subject.
No, I just wanted to know because I feel like, I can relate to that a lot.
That's sick.
But I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
Because sometimes one route's not the way to go.
Oh, I got another story on that I really wanted to say. Freaking, you guys invited me to church once. Right. This is before I left barbering. And this is actually what kind of motivated me quitting barbering. The priest said, God will just make you go a path, even though it's against the grain, even though you do not want to give it up. You're going to keep going down that road. He's not telling you to stop, but it just don't feel right. Yeah. And until you go with the grain, it's just going to fall.
Okay. That's how we already know my story. Yeah. Because I didn't want to leave the store. I feel like and even now it's like I do miss what I did because I loved what I did. Yeah. That wasn't the issue. It was more of like, when we were talking about this last time, I'm like, I feel like I just brought a lot of like what was going on in the store though with me home. And I would come home just in a bad mood. Yeah. Or like I could have an okay day, but I would come home and like if there's my gold spoon in the sink, like I'm mad. You know what I mean? So I realized it was the job that was making me so unhappy, but also just other reasons that I don't really want to talk about. But I did like the job, so I didn't want to let it go. Now I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulder because I am actually going to use my license. Yeah, good for you. But it's that thing too where you feel like, am I doing this though because I know that like he would want this for me, or like this would make us really, really financially stable, or am I going to be happy too? And I still don't know yet because I haven't gotten that routine yet of waxing and making money, and you know what I mean? Yeah. But I definitely am seeing it now. Like I'm a lot happier. I wake up happier. I go to work happier. It's just a better feeling. But I don't know. I feel like God told me a long time ago to close the door and I wouldn't.
Mhm.
And you would even tell me all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I'm happy for you too, dude. That's for sure was a big pivot in life for both of us, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you holding it down too was.
I forget you. Forget y'all.
I hear you.
Because you just always seem to have it together.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you hold pressure pretty well.
Yeah.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do. But look, speaking of church today, the pastor. Hey, shout out Pastor Justin.
Yeah.
Today he was talking about your identity.
Mm.
And then I know you grew up without your dad, and
You couldn't. Okay. Yeah.
I knew you grew up without your dad, and I did too.
Yeah.
But check it out. He was talking about identities today, and he was like, "There's so many different identities that you could have based on how you grew up or whatever, how life has treated you, however it may be." But it's crazy because we see so many, like even in the barbershop, we see so many kids that are like, "Oh, I got to be this because my parents told me I have to be this and this, this, and this," and it's like you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I realized that as a kid, I grew up, my mom always worked all the time. I grew up thinking like it was hard for me to be confident. It was hard for me to feel like someone wants me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because my goal in life was to be a father and a. So he was talking about how basically, what is your identity and why did it become this? And it was because, like, when I was younger, I didn't have confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he was talking about that today, and I was like,
Yeah,
that's
it hit home a
That's
lot.
deep.
but I didn't have confidence because I felt like my father wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? A lot
I
of
do
stuff
get
stems
that.
from my father.
Yep.
But it was a pretty good
Mhm.
today. It was
I'm
fire.
sad I missed him,
It
man.
was fire, dog.
I know. I thought about it. I was like,
I really
y'all
wanted
should have
to,
been there.
but
Though.
you already know my schedule busy right now.
Yeah.
Hey, my boy Andre was there.
Well, good thing it's on YouTube. So you
Yeah.
can still catch it.
I'll definitely catch it.
Facts.
That's cool.
Facts.
Yeah, no, it was a good message. Because it talked about a lot of stuff we've been talking about too. Mental health and stuff, and just feeling not worth it, or like you just, yeah, it's true. It's kind of like the question we started with, like, what could your parents have taught you when you were younger that would help you live life happily and successfully nowadays? So now it's like we go through stuff and we don't know how to handle it, or we don't know how to emotionally react. We don't know how to communicate. On top of that, we don't know how to save. We don't know.
Right.
It's a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and then be a parent. But yeah, just
So which one
Lost
do
my
you
train
think
of
you
thought.
were?
Huh?
Which one do you think you were? He said there was one that was
the broken mirror.
broken mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Broken mirror was you're like going through stuff. You really let people see your good side.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I mean?
Nah, I get you. What
And
other
then
ones were there?
The other one was so the first one was no identity. That was me.
Mm.
No identity, because when I was a kid, I felt like I didn't have an identity. I didn't know how to do this. I couldn't think for myself. Whatever my homies were doing, I would do it. And now
So
that
how are you able to do that now? Because no one would ever guess
Because-
that knowing you.
Because when I turned 18, all the way until 22, I was like that. Went out there and visited my brother. He made me a little confident. And then I met my wife.
Aw.
I was gonna say, so Cedric.
Oh, my fault.
He pressing the wrong button. Hey,
My fault.
you're I don't know about you today.
Hey, man, I like this so much.
Yeah, I
Right.
just feel like no one. I mean, I don't know Kenny things, but I just feel like no one would ever guess that because you are super confident. You
Now.
know how to save.
Yeah.
So when I went out there at first, I was like, he gave me confidence, but it was too much. So I had to
Yeah,
dial it back.
yeah.
Because if you know my brother, he's confident.
Shout out to Cedric.
That fool is confident.
Ced?
Cedric. Yeah.
Oh my God. I got
Shout out my
He's
brother.
like
Cedric.
Hey.
super duper confident.
I don't really got stories on him, but every time I was out, he was out.
Yeah, that's how we met because he was out.
I'm
That's
telling
funny.
you.
Yeah.
No, that's how it was though. And then I met you and got humbled a little.
Mm-hmm.
You know
You
How
made
do you
your
say
match.
that?
You know why?
No, I don't.
I
Why you
was
say
just.
that?
It was just like I seen I don't know. I was just humbled. We went through stuff that
Okay.
in our life, not in our relationship necessarily.
No, just in our
relationship
life.
too.
Yeah.
But,
where we both had nothing.
Yep.
We got evicted.
But that was the first mirror at church, right?
Mm-hmm.
First one was no identity. Second was like, I guess it was like a misguided identity, right?
Yeah. Well, just everyone telling you that you should do this, you should do that,
Right.
instead of what
So that
really
was
makes you happy.
Parents, like
Your friends.
Oh, okay. Probably shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then the last one, or the third one was the broken one, and the fourth one was the perfectly fine mirror.
That one?
It's where you're supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I definitely relate with no identity. That's for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I definitely was surrounded by a lot of people that I shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just try to please them. Realize like, oh, dang, I'm not happy. Oh, okay, let me go over here then.
Oh my God.
Like you said, though, it was like by the time I hit like 23, 24, I started realizing like, oh, I know who I am.
Yeah.
But like
Happens.
I've come so far. Now I got to rearrange my life.
Right.
Yeah. I
Right.
feel you.
Yep.
That's where I'm at. Like
Yeah, that's where I'm
36
at.
and still I'm still figuring it
How old
out.
are you?
Mhm.
36.
Dang.
I know.
Y'all old, bro.
I know. So if anything, it's me. Yeah. I'm still figuring it out.
It's fine. That's most
Hey,
people in this world
At
anyway,
least you
right?
figured it out now.
Right. Instead of 55.
Facts.
I know.
Bro, I know a dude that was, when I first moved here in the barbershop, he was like 50 something. He's
Mhm.
like, man, ain't nobody trying to put me on. I'm from Chicago. They ain't trying to put you on out here. I'm like, bro, put you on to what? You're 50, bro. Like, you're trying to be in the streets still. What are you talking about? He was dead serious trying to be in the streets. He's like, they ain't trying to put me on, bro. Bro, you are 3 days away from a seizure. Or
Oh
a
my
coma
God.
or whatever. Like, you're old, bro.
A bad cough away.
Bad cough away, exactly. You catch COVID, you got to stay in the house for months.
That's one thing about Arizona. Arizona got too many people that are not from Arizona.
That's
Mhm.
facts.
So like you might step on the wrong toes without even knowing.
Yes.
That's
true.
You just might say
Facts.
good morning to somebody will tell you like, what that mean?
That's
I said I was at Winco. I said, nah, I'm straight. I was talking to the mother of my children. I was like, nah, I'm straight. This lady says, you're not from here, huh? What?
What?
I said, what do you mean? She's like, we don't say that here.
What
I
did
said,
they
okay.
Why
say?
not?
I was like, I'm confused. And she's like, we just don't say that. And then turned around and walked away. I was like, okay.
Dang.
Arizona's different, bro.
She must have took it
That
in a
old lady was
different
about to
term.
slide you.
Nah, she was. She said it with a smile. I was just confused. I was looking at her like, what that mean? But then again, you never
He's
know.
about to throw you down the aisle.
You never know, man.
But do you feel like
Facts.
you've been able to have more growth being in Arizona? Like,
Definitely.
would you recommend living in Arizona?
Yeah, I would definitely would. But if you're very small minded, don't come here.
Yeah,
Facts.
I
Be
agree.
real with you. Like unless you want to build who you are as a human being and your career, do
Mhm.
it.
And
But-
feel the pressure.
right.
Yeah.
Because you're definitely gonna feel
Yes,
that
because
pressure.
there's so many
Facts.
successful people around you, and it feels like everybody is trying to do something.
I think Arizona is the third best state to become a millionaire, or third state with the most millionaires that start their own business.
Yeah.
I think that's a statistic. I could be wrong though.
That boy says a statistic.
We have to look it up.
I got a list. It's my fault.
Statistic. You got me saying it wrong.
But yeah, man. Yeah, if you want to move out here, just know there's pressure to it, but you
Facts.
could definitely become successful.
Facts.
I met already a few millionaires, and that's just by walking in the street.
Yeah.
Streets.
I was trying to get put on.
Facts.
Trying to get put on, bro.
Facts.
He's like the pursuit of happiness.
I'm Will Smith.
Dang.
Hell
Oh
no.
my God.
I do got a question for you though. You mentioned that you didn't grow up with a father, and how did that help you become the father you are today? Because I see your kids happy.
My kids are mean.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
They're
for sure.
Mhm.
April for sure, man.
No, you gotta get to a point where it's like, what do you want in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And most of us who didn't grow up with a father, the pastor was talking about this today. Shout out Pastor
I know.
Justin, dog. Shout out Pastor Justin, dog. He was talking about how how you, dang, I just lost my train of thought.
I know you're gonna have to cut.
You
certain
grow
things.
up, right, without a father, and then
Basically, you grow up without a father, so you may have somebody else in your life that is trying to be that father figure for you, or it could be your friends,
Mhm.
you know, and then they lead you down the wrong path, or they tell you
Facts.
what you should be doing with your life, and then you just
Relatable.
never really figure out who you are because you're living off of everybody else's opinion
facts.
of what you should be doing.
So for me, it was.
I should have went to church today.
Yes.
Shoulda, dog. It
Damn.
was.
I should have went to church.
I
today.
almost crip walked
It
up
was
on
good.
it. But no, it was I think growing up without a father, I wanted to be a father since I was a kid. And when you want to be a father, that's your goal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Whatever happens, happens. Like, I know cutting hair is cool. Being a father, as long as my kids can have everything they want, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what happens. As long as my kids are happy.
Yeah.
So that was my like that's what made me want to be a better father, giving my kids whatever they wanted.
That you
just
didn't
doing
have.
everything I didn't have. As a
Yeah.
kid,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Because I got other siblings. Their father wasn't in their life. You know what I mean? So I have to do what I can for them as well. But then
Yeah.
you have people also who grow up with both fathers, or you got people in your life that grow up with both people in their both your parents. Rewind. You got people in your life, like you have people
Role models.
that have no.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not what I'm saying. See, man, this is the problem right here. You got people in your life, right? So you have both parents. Sometimes when you have both parents, you don't accept responsibility the same because they're like, oh, I'll do this for you. Oh, I'll do this for you. So you have to learn somehow how to get responsibility, right? When you don't have a father, it's like, I have to do this or else it's not going to work. I have to be better than this person or it's going to be worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it sometimes because I know plenty of people, both of their parents in their life, they feel like they're, what's the word? When you're like, you have everything.
Entitled?
They feel entitled. They feel
Mhm.
privileged. They feel like
They
they're
don't need to
better
work
than
for
other
anything
people.
Mm-hmm.
But those same people, if they're a single child or an only child, they're always afraid to have kids.
Mm.
And that's insane to me because, when you have siblings, you grow up sharing, you grow up knowing what it's like to fight with your sibling and all that.
Mm-hmm.
These people, like I cut some people and they're afraid to have kids.
Damn.
So I'm more happy that I didn't grow up with a father
Yeah.
than, ending up like some people like that.
I hear that.
Because I feel like, a lot of people are afraid of pressure.
Yeah. But that's
or
what
they
makes
don't
you grow.
handle it well.
I am.
Why you
Pressure
afraid?
sucks.
Yes,
It
I
really does,
am.
but-
Like-
you gotta
It pushes your limits.
You gotta know you're gonna be good though.
Right.
But if you don't have the confidence, that's something I've always struggled with. I don't always have the confidence like people think I do to do something. That's like why for me, being a waxer, I don't really like to have conversations as much as I like to talk. I don't really know how to have
Much as you
conversations
like
with
to talk.
people. I'm not a people person. Like, you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, that's scary. It's scary when I think about it every time that I think about me going into waxing again, that I'm going to have to form relationships. And how am I going to like separate being fake and being genuine? Because
Yeah.
they can see that a mile away. But if you're not somebody that is like that likes to be a people person or form relationships, it's tough. It feels like pressure. It's like, okay, that's when I'm saying like, am I doing it because of the money and because I'm good at it?
Hey, I be
Or is
fake
it all
the time.
three? I feel like you
I be
do.
fake all
I
the
feel like you have
time,
to
though.
fake it
But look,
all the time.
This is why people be like, "Oh, I think so and so's gonna win," or "I'm a big Laker fan," or "I support whatever president I support." I'd be like, "That's what's up," and then I move on to the next subject.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's crazy." Anyways, you just gotta. But no, when you get in the field and you start finding the people, or the people start finding you that want to find you, it's cool.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
wonderful. Like you cut hair before, you find
Yeah.
people that's cool.
I definitely found my little group of people.
Yep. Yes.
Are really cool people.
Facts.
But that comes with time too.
Yeah.
Like he mentioned too, he like was just in it just to be in it, and then he learned to love it.
Mhm.
That's how I was too. I was kind of just like, I want my money.
Yeah, I feel
Come
like
to
that's gonna
find
be
out,
me.
I just wanted to go to work just to talk to the people.
Facts.
I know
See,
that's a
and
weird
I
thing to
won't.
say. I know, like, you go to work to make money, but I literally went to work just to
Yeah.
hang out.
But if
Yeah.
you can make
people.
it more enjoyable, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? You can
for
make
sure.
it easier on yourself. It doesn't feel like work after a while.
Yep, it definitely
Yeah.
didn't.
I have good days every day.
Mm-hmm.
I know you always
Yeah, I
say
miss
that.
cutting hair, man. I
He
really
always
do.
says that, and I'm just like,
I don't have
how?
bad days.
I know. I don't know how.
It's just who I am.
It's a good life. Like the other day,
Great life.
he said, what did you ask me? You're like, what do you want to do?
I don't know.
Well, you asked me like, what do I want to accomplish or whatever, and I was like, I don't know, like, you know. And then I said, what do you want to accomplish? And you're like, literally, you said, I've done everything that I wanted to do.
Mm.
Like I've lived my life. Now I'm just worried. I'm focused on what you need to do.
Facts.
So to get to that point, that is the goal. I want to
yeah.
get to that point.
Yeah, you'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
get there. All right, I got a question for you.
What's
because
up?
in the group chat, you know the group chat, me, the Dale, Tez,
Yeah.
Darius, all them guys. Shout out to group chat. Shout out to group chat. Brandon, all them, my cousins, Joe. A lot of us didn't grow up with fathers.
Mm.
So there was a question one time, and we were we had some conversations. It was like, who had it worse?
Oh,
All
damn.
right, it was bad.
Yeah.
It got crazy in there, right? But it got to a point where, like, Tez asked the question, do you think it's better for your parent to have never been there in the first place? Like, let's say they passed away.
Mhm.
Or do you think it's better if they come in and then they leave? You know what I mean? If they're just inconsistent. 'Cause both of those
That's a good
suck.
question.
They
But-
do
Yeah,
suck.
we all three here have something
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
that.
So, yeah, my little situation is weird with my parents, but inconsistency sucks.
Yeah.
That really does suck. That messed me up so much in the head. And I like to say when I was growing up that it didn't, but I was looking for validation, like from fighting people. Like, not saying like a fighting is cool, but I was fighting people just to take out my anger or whatever. And then it was like, where's my round of applause?
Right.
Where's my homies saying good job?
Right.
But it was like, why?
Right.
And now that I'm older, it's just all of it sounds so stupid. But like I said, what happened with me and my parents anyway, they split up and they just had their relationship and they kind of just held grudges versus each other.
Right.
So,
How old were you when they
when they split up, I was about 1 or 2.
Damn.
Yeah,
So,
but
okay. That's kind of like
Growing
yeah.
up, my dad tried.
Right.
My dad tried with the phone call. I never saw his face. I couldn't put a face to the voice.
Right.
But like my mom would talk good about him and then bad about him. And then I would be on the phone with my dad and then he would talk good about my mom, but then bad about my mom.
Right.
So I'm confused, like, which side am I on? But the
Right.
whole time they got this little revenge thing going on, but I'm in the middle. It kind of felt like they were looking at each other, but never at me.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, it's like, but it is what it is. Now that I'm older, my mama knows, like, hey, you know, like, I'm sorry that happened.
Right.
Like, I really am. Like, I just want to take care of you now.
Right.
But and the whole time I'm trying to take care of her. Like, that's what this whole HVAC thing is too about.
That's cool.
But also my dad came back in my life. He don't live too far from here. He lived like an hour from here. And he's like, I told him, I just want him in my kid's life now. Since he got taken, since I was taken away.
Right.
I just want you in my kid's life.
Right.
And he's all on board. So I think it came around full circle.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But I definitely had to check my parents.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my kids now are on a pedestal. They're never gonna have to go through anything like that. Even if
Facts.
me and the mother of my children do go through something, if that were to happen, we're still gonna be
Right.
cordial with
Yeah.
our kids. That's for sure.
Yeah. Do you feel like he's consistent with them as much as you would like him to be?
As much as I would like him to
Yeah.
be, just because, like I said, I got a busy schedule right now.
Yeah.
So even if you
it goes
tried,
both ways.
even if you tried, I wouldn't be able to let you in.
Mhm.
You know, but like when there's opportunity, it happens.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm very proud of.
That's cool. Yeah, I think I dealt with a lot of inconsistency,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think as far as like if my parent were to pass away at a younger age, I feel like you would always look at that as like the reason to do better.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, it's like the inconsistency sometimes, or I know for me, it was like my dad just show up, then he'd not for a long time. And then he'd try to show up again. And I'm like, bro, come on. The older you get, the worse it gets.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would have been easier had you dealt with a parent that passed away, because it's like, oh, I'm gonna do better for this person. I'm gonna do better for this person. My dad would be happy. My dad would be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you have a parent that's living and they're doing terrible by you. So it's tough.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's I think I don't know. It's a rough one.
That is a rough one. Just to add context to that question, if your parent were to die, in what context would it be? Like, you already don't like that parent, or you like that parent?
I'm at an age where I wouldn't care.
Okay, I hear you.
And that sounds messed up, but
Yeah.
it's to the point where I'm at peace with the situation.
Mm-hmm.
This is who you are. This is what you do. I'm cool with that, but I'm not going to allow that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I accept you for who you are. I'm not going to allow that from my kids.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing inconsistent people around my kids. And that's because I've seen what it's done to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, and that's, bro, inconsistency can mess you up.
It did. It does.
It'll do you bad, bro.
Yeah.
Real bad. And I mean, even, Erica sees it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's.
Yeah, that's why, which the girls already know, that's why their biological father is not in their life. And I had to make that tough decision because I think about it every day. Like, am I really doing the right thing by keeping him from them? Or am I doing what's right? I talk to Avery about this all the time because I'm like, sometimes I feel like I'm supposed to be, like when I think about God, I'm like, I'm supposed to love everybody and forgive everybody. And I don't know that I've ever forgiven him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, you could forgive people and just not deal with them. But I do that so much already.
Yeah,
people
I hear
where
you.
that's why I don't really have a lot of people around me
Mm-hmm.
because I do that. I forgive. And then I'm like, okay, but I don't want you around me.
Yeah.
So with the kids, it's like, I didn't want inconsistency in their life because he did that when they were just 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I met Avery. And now that they're getting older, I'm sure that they're getting more curious because it's like my situation, me wanting to know who my mom was, who my real father was. I wanted to know who I looked like. They're going to be curious and want to know. So, but see, with me, it's like not my real father, but my real father, yes, he exists, but he's not around. I've never met him.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like I had a father that supposedly raised me till I was 3 and then he passed away. Never knew him. That doesn't affect me at all.
Yeah,
I don't
at
feel
all.
anything for it. Just like I don't feel anything for my father who's alive,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not around. Then I only had a mom, but my mom had to work 3 jobs, go to school.
Barely saw her.
Barely saw her, and not because she didn't care, because she was trying to provide and take care of us,
Yep.
So for me, I feel like that really affected me a lot. I think certain situations affect you in different ways and different reasons. Y'all have very similar situations of why and inconsistency. I see it with my daughter's father. That's why I don't want that in their life. But also because I didn't have that consistency also. I didn't have a father figure. That's why I looked for love in boys. That's why, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I get
you make
exactly.
really bad decisions when you don't have a father around at all as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just you look for love in all the wrong places, and then having a parent that's always working all the time. And yeah, I would just kind of do whatever I wanted. I didn't have a father to put his foot down and tell me, hey, you need to come home, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think either way, it's still bad. I feel like it's just as bad.
How's
Man,
HVAC?
HVAC is cool. It's so cool. I met some really cool people that they're not gonna let me fail. There's a couple times where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I can't do it.
Dang.
I can't do it no more because my schedule starts at 1 to 2 a.m. and ends at 11 p.m. Repeat. So I only go to sleep. I go to sleep at like 11:30 and then wake up at 1:30. Repeat my whole day again for 7 days a week.
Wait, 11:30 a.m.?
11:30 p.m. and then I wake up at 1:30 a.m.
And why?
Yeah, I'm telling you, because I go to work in the morning. I do a graveyard shift, and then I get off around like 9 or 10, and then take care of my kids all day until like 5:30, and then I go to school from 6 to 11. Get home around 11:30. Try to go to sleep as soon as I touch down. That never happens.
Mm-hmm.
So
How long do you have to do that for?
I do that until July, end of July, but I do that every day, about 6 or 7 days a week.
And so you graduating in July?
End of July, yeah.
Are you going to have actual graduation?
Yeah, that's what they said. I just hope it's a big ceremony. I saw videos, but videos are like in California, like Nevada. Like, where's Arizona stuff? I want to see it. I ain't see one Arizona ceremony yet.
Is y'all class big?
It's about to be. So,
what does that mean?
So, we got to pass a prereq. So, it'll be like 2 classes, which will be like 2 months. And then you go into a bigger class and you kind of merge with another class. Luckily, the class that we merged with was only like 4 people. So, it became a total of like 8 to 10 people.
Yeah.
The class that's right behind us next month is going to join us. And that was like an additional 10. So, it's going to be a whole big class. That kind of sucks. Like, because the smaller classes meant more hands-on. Now we're just gonna be doing rotations. Now I'm just gonna be waiting. It's like, okay, can I touch this refrigerant or not?
Dang, you working on a refrigerator?
Yeah, I got
fix my refrigerator.
I could do that.
Or microwave.
I could do that. I'm EPA certified.
Certified.
But just think about it. So after July? Yeah. You'll be able to it'll be so different.
Yeah, way
the rest
different.
of your future is going to be exactly what you want it to be. All the hard work will pay off.
It's going to sound like this.
No, I seriously, I commend you so much because there's not a lot of fathers that would do what you're doing at all. You need to be, I've told you this before, but you really do need to be proud of yourself.
Oh, I really am. I wasn't
rare.
at first. And I was like, man, why'd I quit? I quit barbering. I'm over here looking at myself in the mirror like, man, I want to break this mirror right now. I can't believe I did that.
You're sick, huh?
I'm licensed in 2 states. Still. The only
you still got a license in Washington?
I still got a license in Washington.
Why? You don't want to go back?
I'm never going back. It's too small. Like I said, back to the mindset thing. When I was living over there, my mind was like a watermelon seed. Now I'm out here, whole watermelon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a whole
watermelon.
That boy
it's one of the big ones, not the little small ones.
That boy growed it up.
I'm telling you, I'm thinking different now. I'm not thinking small anymore.
Facts.
That's
just how I love that.
Bro, I'll never move back to Iowa. That's not the plan.
I never heard anybody say that they would do that.
Facts.
I never heard anybody say they would do that.
Facts. Well, all right, it's about that time, cuz.
Oh, man, thank you for having me, buddy.
It's about that time.
Thank you, man.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, I get back in the podcast in like a year or 2.
A year or 2.
Yeah, we want to know where you're at.
Yeah.
That'll be season 3 for us.
Pull up in a Hellcat, maybe.
We'll
see, though.
Uh-oh.
Or a TRX.
GTR.
Lambo?
Hold on, man.
Okay, Lambo looks, whatever.
All right, well, that's the end of this video.
Yes.
Or podcast, whatever. Hey, I've been doing YouTube all day.
I know,
I've been doing YouTube all week, so I'm used to saying video.
The end of this podcast.
You want to say, ma'am?
No, just thank everybody for watching. If you guys, have any suggestions for anything you want us to talk about, let us know. As you can see,
I love that.
We're very open. So, yeah, thank you, Kenny.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very inspiring, and I really appreciate you, and we love you. So,
hey, subscribe and follow the podcast, and that's it. You ain't even got to like it no more. I'm asking y'all to do too much. So,
all right.
Catch y'all in the next one.
Bye.
Peace.